Very odd. Oh, we're on. Are we on?
We're on.
Every time I say, oh, we're on. Every single time. All right.
We got a viewer and a commentary that is probably going to go viral pretty quickly.
This year. This is going to be huge.
Because everybody knows the top 10 March Madness Weekend Warrior pre-camp moments.
Top 10 pre-camp Weekend Warrior moments in the history of pre-camp, which has been like is it the 16th year?
2001.
So it's 2001.
It's 2015 now. Just for posterity's sake, these things are going to go on forever, right?
Yeah. So the 14th year. All right.
Got to start with number one is walking into McDuffie's with the two Miller Lite inflatable chairs. Wondering if the guys even going to let us put them down.
Yeah.
Welcome in with open arms. Even let us store them overnight in the bar.
The thing that's huge about this moment is, see, Bill and I, with pre-camp, we assume that the world revolves around us, that everybody kind of caters to our needs, that our rules are meant to be followed. So us carrying in the chairs, I mean, we're like, well, of course we would carry in these chairs. Meanwhile, everybody we know is like, you're not going to get into the bar. McDuffie's was into it. And that even became a little tradition. So that was good.
That was good.
All right. Next moment. I would say the year we were just talking about this moment. There's hundreds of moments, but
the year wiffle ball. You said wiffle ball in the parking lot.
So in McDuffie's, we were like right outside of McDuffie's. There was a parking lot, and we decided that we needed sports during our March Madness, sit around and watch games all day time. So one of the sports was wiffle ball. Now at the time, we did a lot of sports. We actually played in the softball league, played morning basketball, threw some tennis, and we did some things. We were young. So anyway, so we go into the parking lot and we have a wiffle ball game set up in the parking lot of McDuffie's. And so that was huge that one, they let us play, because again, we're like hitting wiffle balls around and there's cars everywhere. But two, random dudes would be like, can I get a swing? Remember, people would just come up and take a hit? You know, it was crazy. So that was our second moment.
And I guess a diversion off that, I think our bar tab all day at McDuffie's.
Like $40.
It was like $40, something like that.
I know it was 15 years ago. So inflation, whatever.
We had a waitress who really liked us.
We were not paying more than, I don't remember ever having to bill more than $80. We spent all day there.
Yeah, I don't know
watching basketball games and eating junk food and drinking beer.
Yeah. So this is a low and a high, but there was 1 year of all these that Gerald missed. It was in Thailand or some bullshit excuse. I don't know.
I was in Thailand. What's the brother gonna do?
And McDuffie's had 25-cent Red Stripes, and we drank a couple dollars of Red Stripes.
A couple dollars, because it was 25 cents. So we didn't want to die.
DC.
Another one of my favorite moments I brought up. DC. So Brianna, my lovely wife, who puts up with me, and we traveled to DC. So it was huge for a lot of occasions. One, for a lot of reasons. One, we went to we were going to visit my family there in New Jersey, which was big because Brianna hadn't been on the East Coast. Of course, visiting Will, Suzanne, and their family. But it was March Madness time, so it was perfect. So we watched March Madness on Bill's couch like always, whatever. However, we went to a bar in Georgetown and watched the Georgetown game, and there was nothing like it. It was great. Georgetown's a great town, and of course, Georgetown's always a good team, and fans were rabid. We wound up getting good table because it was so packed in there. Yeah. We wound up getting good seats somehow. We got lucky because everything, like I said, revolves around us. So Georgetown, that would have been our fourth moment.
But didn't Georgetown lose a 15-2 or 5-12 or something like that?
We rarely ever remember what happens during the games, but
good point.
It was fun times.
All right.
Fifth
moment. Watching Jen Hyatt work the bar at McDuffie's because she knows more about basketball than most guys, and basically was in her element. Of course, that's the last time we've seen her in pre-camp.
The craziest part is Jen is living. That moment was so special. This is how special the moment is. Jen has gone to like 2 pre-camps, yet when me and Bill do this thing, we're like, me and Bill and Jen for like the first 8-9 years.
Yeah.
She was living off like 1 year. She had such a strong year that we were just like, oh, we can't even have this thing without Jen. We hardly ever have it with Jen. But it was that she was in the bar literally like, you need to watch. I remember one team she talked about that year, and they actually won. It was like, oh, you got to watch out for like Southwest North Dakota State, and they won the darn game, and people went crazy, and she knew some of the players. It was ridiculous. Anyway. So that's moment number 5.
Yeah. What about your Iowa State?
Next, so Iowa State. So this was still back during the time of McDuffie's, right before we started transitioning to looking all around Scottsdale for bars to go to that had enough TVs for us, whatever. So we're hanging out. Bill has a good friend who actually went to Iowa State. And Iowa State was the 2 seed that year, and it was one of those trendy picks to like go far. Oh, maybe Final Four, maybe win the whole thing, whatever. And they're playing Hampton, little school. It's one of the all-black schools. They're in MEAC or whatever. You know, they're happy to be there. You know, they don't got a dude over 6'6". It's ridiculous. So we go to join his friend in a bar in Scottsdale, like a cool, swanky type place or whatever. And lo and behold, at that time, it was actually the biggest upset in the history of the tournament. It was the first 15 seed to beat a 2 seed. Since then, it was, bro. You don't remember? It was the first 2 to beat a 15. And it was Iowa State. It was brutal.
And he was broken. It's the first time we actually watched a big upset with a guy who was affected by the upset, and he was broken.
Yeah, because normally, like, you're mad that your bracket's about to get broken. So we're sitting there like, oh no, I got Iowa State.
It's like fake broken.
Iowa State's going to lose and blah, blah, blah. It's going to kill my Final Four. But this dude literally was vested in it, and he was definitely not excited.
By the way, Brad Ryan, if you're watching this, Iowa State lost again this year. They were a 2 seed, and they lost in the first round again.
How do they do it?
Oh, they were a 3
seed. They were
3
seed
sorry.
this time. How do they keep doing it? All right, so that was moment 6.
Yeah. All right, I got one for Suzanne. So the year when we had the inflatable couch out, and I brought a pillow from home and a basketball like we always did, and all the magazines and the journal and everything we're supposed to have. And like it took about till the middle of the second day before she realized that the pillow we had was hers from the bed at home. So
that's rough. All right.
Sometimes March Madness Precamp is tough.
Yeah. Tough luck.
All right.
Number 8. So like, my next moment. Well, so we talked a lot about JB because JB has taken so. It was always kind of 3, and in the beginning we were trying to make it me, Bill, and Jen Hyatt, which was crazy because, like we said, Jen Hyatt, she's gone to like 2 of these movies. JB took over. JB took over as a person attending all the time, and now she's taken over the host. So this year, she's opened up the house to us. So it's been like a big slumber party. You know, I've used like half the tissues in her house. I've drinking 85 waters to try and get that cold flowing through me. We're drinking all our beers. She's cooking for us. She just ordered a pizza. We haven't spent a dime. This is crazy. So JB opened up. Now she's like, yeah, you're good.
I'm sorry to interrupt the broadcast.
This is JB, by the way. She's talking right now.
Good timing. You can interrupt.
Desmond can't find Honey Brown in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Any other thing else?
Yeah, Pilsner Urquell or something like that.
Okay.
All right. Huge shout out to JB, who I think this is probably at least the 5th or 6th year on the couch.
Yeah, so we took over couch. So her couch, she made it a slumber party this year.
Yeah.
She got this huge TV that's beautiful. We're using all kinds of laptops and
high-tech sound,
Wi-Fi,
fastest Wi-Fi ever.
Somehow her Wi-Fi
got
is holding
that
up.
fiber optic Wi-Fi that you only get in Kansas City and at JB's house.
We got 35 devices going right now. So anyway, JB opening up the house for us.
All right. Number next, because we lost count.
We're 9.
Sweet 16. We're at 9? All right. The Sweet 16. Like one year, the Sweet 16 was here in Phoenix, and we got like, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 people. Syracuse was actually in it, so Suzanne was all pumped up. I wore my Syracuse Sucks shirt. She didn't like that so much. But Connecticut cut down the nets for that one. It was UAB, Syracuse, Connecticut, and Alabama.
Nice. I think we have one more moment on here. We discussed these earlier.
Well, Regular Guy Radio. It's probably the last one.
Oh, Regular Guy Radio.
Yeah.
So the 10th thing is Ustream, which Bill found. So Bill is kind of the founder. JB is producer of everything we do.
She's talking right here right now about what she's saying.
And I'm like the super loud guy who talks a lot. So anyway, Ustream, we found a way to not only record, but we're now putting them on YouTube. So go check us out on YouTube.
You're in the studio,
We're
quiet.
on Facebook.
We're in the studio.
Steph
We got
is here.
Steph Hyatt
Looking all
here.
sharp. What's going on? Why are you looking okay? Anyway.
I was going to come
so
up here on your radio
Come
show.
on in here.
Ustream.
You
And
got
this
a top 10 moment of
Hi,
pre-camp.
everyone.
So Steph is here. Quick fact about Steph. We mentioned Jen Hyatt and how she's kind of our fake ambassador, like number 3 person. I believe Steph has showed up to way more March Madness. than
Oh, I
Jen.
guarantee
And
that.
somehow Jen gets all the love. Anyway, this is
Hi,
Steph.
David.
Hello.
All right.
Dr.
Desmond.
A top 10
Hello.
moment of pre-camp over the years. I know this is tough.
So you guys got a big audience here, right?
Huge.
I don't know, bro.
You can't just diss us and leave. You gotta think of your top 10 moment.
Oh, my top 10 moment. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hang on 1 second.
No, I don't even know.
All right, I'll
What kind of
go
beer
while
would you
she's
like?
doing it. Corona is fine or something.
All right,
like that.
Corona.
So, a couple of low points is
He said go with Corona. Thank you.
the year that G missed because he had some lame excuse in Taiwan or something like that. When they added the extra 4 teams a few years back, and they got us all confused about whether it's first round, second round. Nobody cares about the 65th through 8th team, but yet it's created all kinds of confusion.
Nice.
And
Are these the extras?
that's the low light.
Oh, the
Stalling trying to get
The
Steph's
year
top
I
10.
missed, Jen Hyatt like stopping showing up after acting like she was gonna be like you already mentioned that.
There was one low light too that's related to Jen Hyatt when she invited her friend to pre-camp who didn't know anything about basketball, and then she had to ask the question of, is there something going on right now? Is there a big tournament?
That
or
was
something?
great. That was
And she had her back to the television.
How about no? I got another low light. It was like a 2-year stretch that both years I pulled my hammy right before pre-camp. You don't remember this?
That's right.
You were sitting there like, how do you keep getting hurt right before pre-camp? It was the most ridiculous thing ever. Because back then we did stuff. Now it doesn't matter. If I pulled my hammy now, it wouldn't matter. Because I can still lay on the couch with a full hammy.
We'll do a different commentary on where the pre-camp name came from because that's going to take its own altogether.
All
All
right,
right, top 10. You heard it here.
How about